Hey guys, this is Eric Pekarsky with Infinite Prosperity Life Trader, and today I'm going to show you guys my favorite setup from the first week of January. It's actually the first trade that I took in 2017. So this is a beautiful hyper trade that goes all the way from the weekly to the daily to the 4-hour, 1-hour, 5-minute multi-time frame analysis on this trade is very important and it's very clear as well. Now, I initially explained the setup on Monday, January 2nd, 2017 during the weekly watch list. The market was closed on that day because of the New Year's. Market opened up on Tuesday, and that's actually when the setup presented itself on Tuesday, January 3rd, 2017. Now, again, this is CAD Swiss long hyper trade on Tuesday, January 3rd, 2017 for 3.5% and just over 87 pips. So it is a pretty good move. So with that said, let's break it down, starting with the daily chart. So here we go. On Monday, January 2nd, 2017, when the market was closed, what we had on this chart was just a pullback with this beautiful bullish low test that developed on Friday. Now, at this point, this was already on the weekly watch list because it's a perfect break and retest of a support and resistance level. So when you look at the daily chart and you just keep it simple and look at the price action, what we have here is a beautiful breakout to the upside after the US presidential election, which happened here on November 9th. That was this big massive spike here. Then after that, price continued to go higher and higher and higher, finally breaking out to the upside, breaking these previous highs to the upside and making a new higher high. However, it did reject a very strong resistance level. So when we zoom out, you'll notice that this level was rejected here a few times, and this actually was a beautiful hyper trade that I took back here on December 13th, short because of this beautiful rejection. But this rejection gave us a higher high in the market. And then when it pulled back here during the rest of December 2016, it came back to retest the previous highs. So break and retest of horizontal support and resistance, break and retest of the daily 50 EMA, and a pullback to 0.32 Fibonacci retracement as well, rejecting all those levels with a beautiful low test reversal after decelerating for about a week. So it's a perfect break and retest. The daily chart here does not get much better. We have very good support, we have very good candlestick formation, and we have very good price action. Plus, it's with the current momentum to the upside. Now that's the daily chart, perfect. The weekly chart at the same time, when we zoom out, you'll notice that it broke out to the upside. It created this bottom and then popped to the upside. Again, that's the same resistance level as on the daily chart. But it also gave us a low test, rejecting the weekly 50 EMA. So this was a break and a retest of the weekly 50 EMA, the daily 50 EMA, the daily horizontal support and resistance zone, and 0.32 Fibonacci retracement. So a ton of support down here, and that's why this was on the weekly watch list and was my favorite setup from the weekly watch list to take long that week. So that's the daily chart. Now the target here is pretty simple. It's the next resistance level, which is extreme highs here. It's just above 0.77. That resistance right there. So my target was an even number of 0.77. That's also a nice high on the 4-hour chart. Pretty simple and straightforward. So the higher time frames here are perfect. They don't get much better than that. Now let's have a look at the intraday charts. And the 4-hour here is again pretty simple. So on Monday, January 2nd, when I was going over the weekly watch list, price was sitting over here. Again, the market was closed that day. Some brokers had their doors open. That's why we had a little bit of movement that day, but majority of the brokers were closed because of the New Year's holiday. So with that said, when I was breaking this down, price was sitting here on Monday. And at that point, what I was already seeing is horizontal support and resistance zone, which is the same zone as on the daily chart. Beautiful rejections here of this area on the 4-hour chart. But we also have bullish MACD divergence. And on top of that, we also had this descending trend line. So although the daily chart was looking good, we had a descending triangle developing with support and lower highs. This, at the end of the day, is a bearish price action pattern because the descending triangle, the overall momentum here is bearish because of the lower highs. So it could very well break down to the downside. That's why I wanted to see a break to the upside first before executing a long trade. And this started to happen as the market started to open up, price popped to the upside and will consolidate a little bit, and then finally on Tuesday it popped to retest these levels and explode to the upside. So initially I was waiting for the breakout, and the breakout started to happen here at the beginning of Tuesday, And same thing on the 1 hour chart. The 1 hour chart is beautiful here again. So price was consolidating a little bit. Then we had bullish MACD divergence, but this consolidation gave us a very good resistance. So on Tuesday, we had a breakout. Actually, this breakout happened here on Monday when the market was closed, but again, a few brokers were still open, so that's why we had movement in the market. So price broke out to the upside, consolidated a little bit because of low volume again that day. But at this point, check it out. It broke out and it's consolidating and rejecting support now. So what was once resistance became support. So everything already was lining up. We got the 4 hour 50 here, break above that. We had a break above the 1 hour horizontal resistance. We had a break above the 4 hour descending trend line, which was extremely important. And then on market open here on Tuesday, January 3rd, 2017, when we zoom in on this 5-minute chart, what you'll notice is that price actually came down on market open to retest the pivot. But as it retested the pivot, it also retested the 4 hour 50 EMA, the 4 hour descending trend line, the 1 hour 50 EMA, and rejected the 1 hour resistance zone when it bounced off the pivot and broke the 5-minute 50 EMA. It rejected all those levels and closed above the 1 hour support, which was extremely good. So this is, at the end of the day, a perfect break and retest and a rejection of all those levels with a break of the 5-minute 50 EMA to the upside, confirming the rejection. So as I was making my watch list here on Tuesday, January 7, 2017, this trade popped up. And again, this is exactly what I was waiting for from Monday's watch list, Monday's weekly watch list. And then on Tuesday, boom, trade executed just after 2 a.m. GMT when we had this 1 hour low test as well, rejecting all those levels and a 5-minute break to the upside. Now, stop placement was 25 pips. So a safe stop placement would be below S1. That's what a safe stop looks like to me. It's a little bit wide. I don't like placing my stops that far. So 25 pips here protected me by all those levels. It was below the 4 hour trend line, below the 4 hour 50 EMA, below the 1 hour 50 EMA, below the pivot, and below horizontal support and resistance on the 1 hour chart. So it was well below all those levels protected, and that's why I was fine with a 25 pip stop here. And then target was again 0.77, which was that daily high, just below those daily highs. And on the 4 hour chart, that was the previous high here. So when you look at the 4 hour chart, 0.77, that was the previous high here, that was the previous rejection. So it was just a nice and even number and an easy target for 3.5% and 87 pips. Now, this was my trade, but Jules also executed this trade for a quick power move. He's going to explain it this week in one of the webinars. This was the first trade that he took, and then he took another beautiful trade right here when price formed support and broke out to the upside. But I'll let him explain that for you guys during one of the webinars. But for now, this is CAD Swiss Long Hyper Trade. It's my favorite trade from the first week of January, and it is my first trade of 2017. So it's CAD Swiss Long Hyper Trade on Tuesday, January 3rd, 2017 for 3.5%. And this is it, guys. So I hope you enjoyed this quick trade analysis of my first trade of 2017. Now, if you're Infinite Prosperity Platinum member and want to see more videos just like this, plus trade live with myself and Jules on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, feel free to sign up below to Live Trader. To everybody else, if you want to learn more, sign up for the free lessons below as well. And for now, have an awesome day, and I'll chat to you guys next time. Take care.